What if events went differently? What if the Toy Story gang was plucked out of their universe and put into the events of Black Ops Zombies? Welcome back. My name is Max Charlevoix, aka MissedThePart, and welcome back to the channel, my fellow watchers of the multiverse. It's all kind of happened up to this, and that is this horror episode. Now, this was a big request, and I want to give a massive shout out to Harrison for requesting this in the live stream. He actually requested this in one of the live streams that we did here on the YouTube channel, and I thought this would be perfect if we could put that into Horror Week. So I'm going to put his YouTube username on the screen right now, and I want to give him a massive shout out for requesting this particular episode, and also for, you know, it being inspired to be in Horror Week. I also do want to say, make sure to get the merch as soon as possible, as we're less than about a week away now until the merch is officially gone on the MissedThePart merch store, and that is the Toy Story crew in Call of Duty Zombies. So again, if you guys want to get some very unique MissedThePart merch and you guys want to support the channel, this is a way that you could do it, and I would highly recommend that you do it, because once this design is gone, it's going to be unobtainable for forever. So this will be it. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting me here on the channel. I want to give a massive shout out to the YouTube community members as well as the Patreon supporters. But that being said, my fellow watchers of the multiverse, let's dive into the brand new What If episode. The sky was gone. It stretched above the ruins in flickers, torn like fabric, bleeding neon static, and twisted purple lightning through a jagged wound in the atmosphere. From the broken husk of a town once known as Green Run, the air choked with ash and distant screams. Fires burned, but there was no heat, just flickering embers in a world forgotten by time. In the center of chaos, the rift pulsed. It cracked space itself, rippling reality like water disturbed. And then, something fell through. No, someone. A cowboy had hit the ground first, rolling into the dust. Then came a small frame, limbs tangled in strings and cloth, eyes painted wide. Sheriff Woody hit the pavement hard. His pull string clattered against the cracked sidewalk. His fingers twitched. His felt-covered hands lifted his hat as he coughed up the blackened suit that clung to the ground. He looked around, blinking. The world he had landed in wasn't his own. No sunlight, no laughter, no Andy, just ruins. And beside him, another shape fell. It crashed harder, with a mechanical thud and the hum of a laser core. Buzz Lightyear, armor dented, wings half deployed from a mid-fall attempt at flight, landed face first in a shattered toy truck. He groaned in static. Something in his voice box cracked, then reset. To infinity, system error. The two toys stood slowly. Their joints ached in places toys shouldn't even have joints. Their paint chipped, their seams frayed, but they were alive, for now. And they were somewhere very, very wrong. The town was empty, or at least it seemed that way. Chartered walls surrounded them, toy stores gutted, billboards twisted into warnings, craved in blood and claw marks. Green Run had become a graveyard of memory. But what stood out to Woody and Buzz wasn't the devastation. It was the silence, the wrongness and the stillness. It felt like the world was holding its breath. They crept into what had been a toy aisle. Woody clenched a bent paperclip like a makeshift weapon. Buzz scanned the aisles with a cracked visor, his laser flickering with minimal power. And then they saw them. Toys. Other toys. But not alive. not like them. These were burnt, broken, twisted. One sat slumped against the side of a dollhouse, eyes torn out, stuffing spewing from its chest. A plastic truck idled back and forth with no driver, but its headlights pulsed like eyes. And somewhere deep in the store, a jack-in-the-box cranked slowly, playing a warbled version of Pop Goes the Weasel. Before Woody could react, the wall behind them collapsed. Something lumbered forward. A massive toy soldier, 4 feet tall, stitched together with nails and wires, eyes glowing red. It drooled black symbiote from its jaw. Its mouth opened and screamed like a banshee. Buzz fired his laser, its spark against his chest. Woody grabbed a bent screwdriver, leapt, and drove it through the thing's knee. It buckled. Buzz flipped up, aimed between the eyes, and this time, his shot connected. The toy collapsed, but it wasn't alone. The horde arrived. They ran. Through the smoke-choked streets of Green Run, Woody and Buzz sprinted through gutters, over corpses, until crashing buses. In this world, they were still toy-sized, but the danger had scaled with them. Zombies shambled through the fog, human ones, giant, twisted figures in burned military gear, dragging broken limbs and reeking of rot. Buzz barely dodged one's hand as it slammed into a wall, bricks falling in his wake. Woody fired a slingshot bullet into another's eye, leaping into a vent with Buzz right behind him. They collapsed into the darkness. "Buzz!" Woody gasped. "I don't think we're the main characters anymore." That's when a red light cut through the vent, and the two toys found themselves staring into the barrel of a very real, very human shotgun. Marlton blinked down at them through goggling-covered eyes, through goggles covered in dust. Oh great. I finally snapped. I'm hallucinating action figures now? Before he could pull the trigger, Misty stepped in, lowering his arm. Wait, those aren't just toys. She crouched. They're alive? Woody stood tall and proud, raising his hat. Sheriff Woody, ma'am, Buzz Lightyear too. We don't mean trouble, but we could sure use a little help. Misty smiled. They talk. They fight. They'll survive the undead. She loaded her rifle. Welcome to the team. The apocalypse didn't break them with screams. It broke them in the quiet. For 2 weeks, Buzz and Woody survived alongside the crew, fighting, scavenging, rebuilding, but every day they woke up to the same nightmare. This world didn't want saving. One night, Buzz found Woody staring at a burned plush copy of himself in a ruined toy aisle. Its pull string was gone, a noose of yarn coiled around its neck. Across from it sat a Buzz knockoff, its wings bent, face fully cracked. On the wall, somebody had scraped in blood. No toy left behind. Neither of them spoke, but they knew what they were feeling. This world didn't just kill people, it killed hope. Then came the worst discovery. Stuhlinger dragged back a half-burned farm sign wrapped in barbed wire. Davis Family Farm, Andy, Lorraine, Jim. Buzz froze. They followed the coordinates to the edge of the town. A small house, a barn, a grave. Scratched in with a stick, just a single name. Andy. Woody fell to his knees. Buzz said nothing. He couldn't. This world had taken their kid. Then came the carnival music. A twisted ice cream truck barreled down the street, speakers blasting, warped tunes. Riding atop of it was Losto the Hugging Bear, now a zombified mutant, towering and stitched together like Frankenstein's monster. Ludus led an army of corrupted toys and undead children. Buzz flew into the horde with his wings blazing. Woody fired his revolver, custom modified to fit his size. It was pack-a-punched, setting the toy army ablaze, but the bear didn't fall. He grabbed Woody and dragged him into a crumbling preschool. The walls inside were painted with Andy's drawings, animated, looping the same happy moments before blackening into ash. Lodos, twisted and malformed, whispered through a toy speaker, "Love never dies." Buzz bursted through the walls, blasting him with everything he had left in his core. Woody lit the room with fire. Together, they killed the bear. But the damage was done. They weren't toys anymore. They were weapons. And the rift was pulsing louder than ever before. The town center warped itself into a battlefield, a corrupted replica of Andy's bedroom, fused with the undead architecture and hellish light. At its heart stood the final boss, zombified Andy, a monstrous child toy hybrid echoing Andy's memories, now corrupted by the infection. He called their names, toys. The battle was unreal. Buzz soared into the creature's skull, planting charges. Woody coordinated traps with the crew. Every wave of toys felt like old friends, twisted into mockeries. Buzz was pulled inside the beast, and Woody, bleeding, stuffing, barely held together, stood at the rift. He held the only thing that could collapse the infection, a micro-core bomb. Buzz screamed, "You'll be erased!" Woody looked back one last time. Being a toy meant something, and it still does. The light consumed him. The rift died. The town went quiet. And Buzz stood alone beneath a blue sky. In a dark laboratory, a red box snapped open. A hand reached out. A voice whispered, "Reach for the sky. You've got a friend in the undead. Till death do us play." Now, what did you think of the Toy Story crew? Woody and Buzz being in Call of Duty Zombies and helping the transit crew in Call of Duty Zombies. It's such a very random what if. I know it's completely random, and again, that's what we do here on the YouTube channel, and I can't thank you guys enough for Horror Week and really enjoying what we're doing here and what we're putting out on the channel. I really can't thank you guys enough, and again, I want to give a massive shout out to Harrison for requesting this video in the live chat. So, you know, do make sure to join the live streams. They're happening Monday and Fridays. There's no specific time, so turn those notifications on so you're all up to date when we do a live stream on this channel. And again, I do want to say, make sure to get the Playtime is Over merch. There's a 10% discount code. Use code WHATIF to get 10% off your order. A lot of the orders just go towards helping the channel, so any of the profits that we make, I'm going to be investing that back into the YouTube channel for more content. So that's kind of how it's working. And again, once the design is gone, it is gone. But again, thank you guys so much, my fellow watchers of the multiverse, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care and have a wonderful day. Peace out.
Oh God, Andy's dead. Andy, he's dead. Oh, Andy, I think because tonight, fight for every kid who ever believed.
To infinity and definitely I believe the regular market, or at least a miracle in a mystery box. Oh God, Andy is dead.